What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Russell Hant Show. Today we have a special episode that we just planned to do right out the blue. What it is me and Boo are always talking about, how to get on Survivor, but we don't really go into detail on how to get on reality TV. We have Boo joining us from Survivor Fiji. We have Melissa Wall joining us. She went through the casting process and didn't quite make it all the way. So we're going to break down exactly what she did wrong, Boo. And we're going to, because we did it all right and she did it wrong. So, but in the same time, I got my bougie pillow. I want this to be a comfortable podcast. This, you know, how I do things. It's not all about being professional. It's about being, just fun. And that's what we plan on doing today.
So at the end, I have a surprise for your viewers.
You got a surprise
if they promise to at least go and vote, if not donate for the Wounded Warrior Housing Project, I will reveal my top 5 things you need to do in your video to be on Survivor.
To make it guaranteed. Now, Boo, do you think you can take anyone's video seriously? Take their video and get them on the show. If that was your specific task, and let's say somebody was going to give you $1 million, but nobody knew about that person that gave you the $1 million, would you get that person? Are you positive that you could probably get that person on the show?
Yes. But that getting anyone is hard because a lot of people are good for the show and they would do well. It's just the casting has so many people to weed through. So I would have to take that person and do some great stunts that I've thought about that would get people on the show. However, people don't have the money to do the things that I would do. So getting your normal people on the show is a lot harder. There's a lot more normal people out there, even though they would be great for the show and they would probably do well in the show once they got there. The videos are always going to come back as a million other videos. It's the really, really out there type of personalities that I can pretty much get on the show.
Right.
You, James,
okay.
Colton.
What if the personality was like, oh, I don't know about, because people send me videos all the time and sometimes they're good, but sometimes I'm like, they don't have a shot. So how do you get past that to actually, not everybody has the same personalities. Not saying that it's not a bad thing. It's just not everybody is that interesting. Like James, I would have never thought, knowing James, because he's quiet. He's to himself. He doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't have Twitter. He has none of that. So how in the world was someone like James to himself was able to go on Survivor and become a 2-time fan favorite?
Well, as far as getting him on the show, okay, 2-time fan favorite, that's once he's on the show. Yeah. A lot of people that can't get on the show may have been fan favorites later, in the show, but they have to get past all the other hundreds of thousands of videos. So James got it because he's an obvious freak of nature in the looks department. So that's basically what got him on. And then he has this dry personality, but he has a personality. It's just you have to talk to him, and then you're like, oh, there's a lot of warmth there. There's a lot of silliness. It's just drier, and it has to be in the right situation. But physically speaking, they wanted him immediately. They wanted to talk to him at least. Will he come across on TV
from his looks alone, his body?
Right.
So people don't like to hear this part. The body does matter. Like obviously, I asked
for certain characters.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter for everybody. You're right. So if it's the pretty boy or the pretty girl, obviously they want the body. Then they might have the mom. Not saying that moms don't have nice bodies, because they do.
Mom.
Right. But you see what I'm trying to say. The villain, me, short, bald-headed, stocky. I created that character. You're welcome. to all you short, bald guys out there that never
No
had
shot
nothing.
now.
Never had
Tony,
nothing. Yeah,
Tony,
and I gave you a shot. So
you
when
gave
it
Tony
comes
a
to
shot.
when it comes to you, Melissa, what Boo, do you know her specifics and why she wouldn't have got casted? Like, did they tell you anything, Melissa? You went pretty far on casting.
Yeah.
So what happened? Do you know what happened? Or can we try to figure out what we can do to make it to where if you would have talked to Boo, you could have actually made it happen?
So let's start with your right before that, you had a monumental event happen in your life, correct?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell us about that, because you interviewed for Survivor right after that, and that I think was playing in their minds in the thought process. Start with that event.
Yes. So I am a survivor of the October 1st Route 91 Harvest Festival shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada. My first trip to Las Vegas, and blessed to have been able to make it home. I'm a nurse, and part of the scenario for Survivor for me was heroes, healers, kind of fitting in that category. I was a big spokesperson back east. I live on the East Coast for survivors. There's Facebook groups that I'm a part of.
The survivors of the shooting, right?
Yes, for survivors of the shooting, and just overall healing of folks that were affected by Route 91, whether having a family member there, a friend, anybody that they knew that was just directly affected. So for me, doing the Survivor was something that I was very passionate about. And I know I made my video by myself when I was at home with my phone propped up on a propane heater. I'm not kidding. Yeah. And I mean, I'm a funny person anyway, so I tried to be funny, but then also relate it to, why not me? Like, yes, I'm a mom. I'm a single mom of 2 little girls. I'm an athlete. I'm, raised in the country. I have a pig running around in my yard, literally. I'm kind of an all around person, but like you said, there's so many ladies, women like me out there, but that one factor for me surviving something and being able to persevere through fear and all the other emotions that anyone that's been through a traumatic event goes through, to be able to keep pushing for your goals, which is what I continue to do every single day, not letting that define who I am as a person. Yeah. Or give me a crutch to just give up in life, because that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give up ever. I'm always going to push through for my dreams and advocate and use any moment that I can to advocate for, kindness, overall kindness. Maybe it would have changed events. You never know. And so I think that was a huge thing for me. And then Boo, I know you saw my video. So
let's start. So what was the first thing? You made a video, you knew where to send it. Where did you send it? How did you know about that?
That's important.
Yeah. So kind of through a contact, knew to send the video to CBS for the show. And then laying in bed one night, I received an email that basically asked me to do another video that really showcased who I was as a person. Not, they really were adamant, not anything professional, like truly who I am, that really shows me, I guess, to help define a character, so to speak.
When you sent your video, did you send it directly to the email on CBS, or did you send it to an individual?
The very first one to an email individual. No, the first one to CBS, and then the second one responding to the producer that had written me.
Okay, so that indicates they had some sort of interest.
Yes. So you're like, oh my goodness, someone knows my name and has reached out to me, directly. Right. So that was, you have your foot in the door at that moment. You have their attention.
Okay, so you made the second video, you sent that in. How long did it take for them to respond to that video?
About 2 weeks.
Okay, about 2 weeks. And what was their response?
Basically, I got the all of the forms to fill out regarding what I would bring with me, who would the person be that came, should I get to the family challenges and win a family member to be able to come and visit. Questionnaire about who I would play
from not being involved in that process for you. I mean, I was kind of involved. I was involved with a lot of other people, but I'm thinking that they were prepping you to go out to the final 50. I think someone in casting liked you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop there and you continue with your story. But I think that is a big sign that someone in casting is liking you. And what happens is everybody's gonna fight for their tall, blonde, hot mom with a great story.
Yeah.
So someone had you in their stable, and they're gonna be pushing you and trying to prep you. What was the next step?
So upon filling out the paperwork and then really looking into, I've always been a huge fan of the show, so I was very familiar with a lot of survivors. They wanted to know, who would you replicate the most? Who would you play like? What did you like about one person versus the other? So you really had to critically think about, when you answer that question, you're almost giving them an idea of, Russell, would I play like you? Would I play like Boston Rob? I mean, who
Harvey,
knows? They want to know. Would I play like Boo? I'm a good actor.
You mean win everything?
You know, Boo, that is true. And I'd practice up on my axe throwing too. And I can actually use a chainsaw. Thing. So
to me, they 100% enjoyed the accent. You have the look. You're the mom, so you was on the way. So we have to figure out what stopped that.
yeah.
So I have a feeling I understand what stopped it, but what was the next process?
So upon sending all of that in, it was just really a waiting game. I sent in a couple of emails answering just some personal questions that they had sent me via email from the producer.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just felt like a waiting game after that. I went to Vegas for the 1-year reunion in between the waiting. And that's really, that was, I think, the last step. And then you just kind of.
So they never said, hey,
they don't really give you an answer as far as maybe next time or maybe later.
So you never got a confirmation on, hey, we it's not right for this show, or we're choosing to go a different direction. There wasn't a response.
No, it was left very open-ended, and I'm not sure if there was some staffing changes when I had reached out to the producer.
Yeah.
Didn't really
hear. That's the sucky part about it. At least I would want an answer. They would keep hearing from my ass till I got a note. However,
especially if you have an email with the phone number.
This is my take on that. Like I said earlier, everybody they have like several, casting people, and they all want their player to get in. They all want their player to win. Not only do they get rewarded monetarily, they get pride and joy, and my player won, right? So I think someone else had their favorite,
mm-hmm.
and their favorite won out for whatever reason. Maybe it was they fit better particularly for that show.
Right.
Maybe it was someone that they've been looking at, and they're like, we got to get this person on the show, and they're kind of like you, so they went with that. That's not a bad thing, though. You were on their radar, and I think what you did recently is the right thing to do. A lot of people have had to try multiple times. It's a big part of it. You might not fit this, you might be off their radar, and then all of a sudden, oh, you fit for that. It's like Russell wasn't applying for Survivor anymore. He had done something for Pirate Master.
Yeah.
But when they knew they were doing villains, they were looking for villain cast members the season before, and they thought of Russell. Oh, what about that villain? He was a pirate that would stab his mom back. Let's talk to him.
So it doesn't matter that you didn't get called. I mean, that doesn't mean they're not going to call you again, because they called me. What was it, Boo? A year and a half, 2 years later.
2 years after, yeah.
So we thought it was done, over with, and then good thing they called me, because I saved the show. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's just focus on the positive here. They were interested. Both Russell and I have extensive knowledge on the inside, and we believe that they have extensive interest in you, your personality, your story, whether someone gave up on you or not, that's always going to be there. They like what they like, and you fit what they like. So you need to keep beating that door down if that's what you want to do. Now, you tried again. Tell us about that.
So then I went to an in-person casting in Pennsylvania back in the end of December. And with that, there are multiple casting calls in different cities. Just check the website. You can see if they're coming to a city near you or make the travel. Boo, you actually gave me insight on this one. And following going, you are notified via email. It's going to be about 8 weeks. The end of December, 8 weeks out. We're in a pandemic, and it's
so it kind of shut that down. So knowing some things about you, I'm going to go ahead and give you personal advice in front of everybody of what I think you should do, because I know some things about you. And Russell, she has since built, I don't know if it was for Survivor, but you should put it in your video. You built this for Survivor. She built a zip line on her property and a jungle gym, like an obstacle course, like the real deal Holyfield. And she's a marathoner. They already knew that, but I would, it's all fun and games. They know a lot of stuff we say on there is bullshit. Excuse my language if I can't say that. But I built, and you may have, because knowing you may have. So I would definitely put in there, and with action shots, and I'll explain that at the end for everybody that's listening, my keys to the video. There's 5 keys. So I would put the fact that you built that for, lie if you have to, tell them that's why you built it, and do the zip line, get videos of it. If you can dial up the video, great. People like you are going to need all of those things, because you're not some crazy retarded person like Russell and I and some of my friends.
If you get casted, you have to let us know, because I got to put this video on private, because if they go back and they see that you did a YouTube video talking about all this, they would start, I don't know if they would worry enough to take you completely off, but we wouldn't want to, it's a secret thing. They like to keep it secret. So I would put it on private if something happened to where you went all the way to LA. Yeah.
So get shots of you on the jungle gym. Bring up some of the, definitely you need to talk about your story first. You need to get attention. So you bring that. I don't want to ruin what my tips are later in the show, but you need to focus on that story. You need to focus on the jungle gym you built to practice for Survivor, zip line, get action shots, maybe do some Annie Oakley type of stuff on your horses. Just fun, jaw-dropping things like, oh my God, that's what, something people want to look at. Also, you told me a story once about catching a live animal with your bare hands. So tell Russell and the audience about that story.
This is a true story. As a child,
I don't know, Russell. You tell me if you think it's true after.
TV, they always would say, go outside and catch a rabbit or something. I literally went and caught a rabbit or something. A live rabbit with my bare hands. I saw it. It was sitting by the mailbox. It was sitting so cute, and I looked at it. I've always been quick. I got that rabbit.
Dang.
And I had it, and you go back to your house, and I'm like, I got the rabbit. No, I did not get a rabbit. No, I really got a rabbit. Just last week, I'm not joking. There was a rabbit outside, and I told the girls, I said, you guys should have came outside with me. I just tried to catch another rabbit. But this time, since I'm a little older now, I had a clothes basket, and I tossed it to try and, mouth the rabbit.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. I didn't succeed. I need to work on that skill. But once upon a time, I did catch a rabbit.
So are you married or anything?
No.
So I know that they have married couples and stuff, but I think they like it when they're single. Do you think so, Boo, or you think that's just, I mean, if you had a scale and you had the married mom or the single mom. Which one would they go to?
I mean, you have to be talking about everything else being equal, you know?
Josh?
So I could see that. But I mean, that's a small thing, because if they like you more than a single, you know, because your personality, your story, whatever.
Well, wouldn't they want the showmance on the show or something like that? Isn't that
right? So that's it. That fits a totally different character, though. So they're gonna want people that aren't. They're gonna pick people that aren't gonna hook up. They're gonna pick, you know, half of them that they're hoping there's gonna be some sort of love triangle or love something hooking up.
Yeah.
You know, I know exactly that I was that person.
That must be what they chose me for.
Right. To hook up with this little blonde. Yeah. I know exactly.
Because I told him, I said, in casting, when you're sitting there, you one chair and all CBS in front of you, I said, I know why you guys chose me. I got it. It's okay. I know the stereotypical person that I'm supposed to be. And Mark Burnett was like, why do you think we cast you? Who is that person? I said, the good looking guy. I mean,
yeah, you got to have confidence, right?
And they just started laughing for some reason, but I was serious. I was serious.
Well, I'm not sure. So that was her experience on the two, and that's our take on what happened, why, and what's going on in the casting's mind, according to our thoughts, right?
If they called you, then they'll call you again. Like, I think, first of all, how long ago was this? Because with all this going on, everything is shutting down. They're not talking to too many people. They're not they're surely not going to fly you out here and do this with you. I think the next Survivor is going to be an all-star season. Some sort of all-star season, just like they did with Big Brother, because they have an all-star season and on right now with CBS Big Brother. But I think the reason they have that is because they couldn't fly people here and fly them there.
They already knew the characters, so they didn't have to do all of
it. Right. So I think the same thing's going to happen with Survivor. So I've heard a few people that called that didn't get called back. If I think that's what's happening, and you could easily get called again. So I would not think that it's over with. Does he give you any response whatsoever? Can you email him and say, hey, is it a no? Can I forget about it? Or are you guys just busy? I mean, have you tried that? Or
that's something I probably should do. I try not to be too assertive or annoying, but
that is not the right attitude.
No,
I know that's a bad attitude.
Let's back up a little bit. And Boo, I want, when you get to LA, now, I really don't, they may get upset with us saying this kind of thing, but it's when Lynn was involved. When you get to LA and then you start thinking like, they hurt my feelings, they're making me mad. But we had someone that got all the way to LA, and one of the only ones that didn't actually make it on the show for other reasons that we know of. But tell the story when, can I say her name? Went to LA.
The blonde?
Yes, the blonde.
Yeah.
Tell the story. And then people understand what they're looking for.
Well, okay. Casting has a really tough job. They know that people will put on a show. So their job is to figure out, is this person really that person? And I think it kind of worked in reverse with you, Russell. They thought, is this person really that mean?
Right.
So they needed to figure out if you were, because
they came up to me. Yeah, they came up to me.
They want you to be the character you're portraying.
Right.
This time they wanted you to be a little less and a little more fun, right? And
that's what they told me. And I went and I called Boo when they told me that and said, I was worried when they said, you need to be nicer. You need to be the family man. I was like, I called Boo from LA and said, well, I don't know what do they want me to do, man? Tell jokes? I mean, I don't know what to do now. So that's when I was like, it's over. That I literally thought it was over for me. But go ahead.
And I knew it wasn't over at all.
Yeah.
But so Melissa, what they do, what you're there is they want to figure out, is this the person that I'm going to see on the island with a camera in their face or in game play? So they have to do their little tricks, which is make all kind of rules. See if you break rules. Are you a rule? Well, you pretend to be a rule breaker, but you're following all the rules? No. Okay, well, maybe we got something here. Then they're going to do this big psych eval on you. They're going to do all the questions about the psych evaluation and see if they match with your personality. And it's a long, redundant test. And that's there to make you make a mistake. And you get frustrated. So you start just answering what you really are instead of what you're trying to pretend to be. Right. So without revealing too much of it, that casting side and people we've talked to, and figured out, basically, we really figured it out on our own. But they say, don't play the game. Basically, the game starts when you make a video and send it in.
Right. They say be yourself. That's not what they mean. They say,
well, be yourself.
Well, no, they don't mean, everybody's like, oh, be yourself. How I've always described it was either if you're super likable when you do a few shots, then do a few shots. If you want to amp yourself up and drink 10 cups of coffee because you talking, then do that. You have to amp up who you are and be somebody
being
bigger.
A caricature of yourself.
Right.
You want to be yourself on steroids. So if you're funny like you are, Melissa, and you like to talk, do energy drink and make yourself talk a little more.
Right.
If you're not a talker and they like you because you don't talk.
Right.
Russell said, I'm fixing my tooth. They already loved Russell at that point. He said, well, yeah, if I get on, I'm going to fix my tooth. They said, you fix your tooth, you're not going on the show. Yeah. So if they like you with a hat, he told a friend of his, I'm going to wear his hat to the interviews.
No, you said that. I told you I was wearing it to interview, and you told me if you wear that hat, you'll never take it off. Like you'll be wearing that hat on the show.
Right. Because however they see you and perceive you is what they want. Right.
Right.
If they see you with long, luxurious hair as a girl or a guy, don't go get a damn haircut. They will be pissed and you might not make the show. You really might not. Mm-hmm. So whatever you portray, that's what you are to them. If it's a quiet person and they like you that way, don't try to go and be this talkative type of person. If you're a dick, be a dick, but they don't want to put people in danger. That's not the kind of dick. It's kind of like, I will speak my mind. If I offend you with my words, that's fine with me. I'm going to do it. Right. But if you're like for you specifically, you're high energy, you like to talk, you like to be silly, you like to joke, you like to be athletic, be that person at your most amped.
Yes.
For your video, for sure. And for sure at the hotel. Order you a couple shots of liquor.
Oh, yes. When you get to the hotel, even me, everybody thinks I'm like so professional with my lighting and just a professional type of guy. when I got to the hotel, man, I was like, I did not know what to do. I was talking to Boo every step of the way. Every time I went and talked to someone, when I talked to Mark Burnett and Jeff Probst, I came back. I called Boo. I said, they don't like me. They don't like me. So,
and that's the game they play.
That's the game they play. So I was like, they don't like me. I don't know what to do now. So that's what I wasn't that aware of exactly what they were doing at that time. But Boo kept saying, relax. It's okay. You're fine. And then when I said they want me to be funnier, Lynn just came in my room and said, Russell, you're too aggressive. You need to calm it down a little bit. You're being too aggressive. You need to start talking about your family.
So let's let the audience in on some of this. They see Survivor, they think, okay, CBS. No. Survivor, whatever name of Mark Burnett's company, is its own company, and they will love you. They will love you. Like
Yes.
Shannon they loved him. They said, we know you're going to act a certain way on the island, and we love that. But you cannot go into the CBS interview, which is your final interview with CBS. So you interview with all Survivor people, and then the final interview is like, all right, Survivor says, all right, CBS, we have our top guys. We're going to interview them with y'all, and then we're going to sit together as a CBS team and Survivor team and pick. So they loved him, and they knew what they would get on the show with him, but they tried to help him tone it down so CBS would accept him. So you got to take those cues from them. Lynn, at that point, they loved you this interview, they loved you that interview, they loved you. And then all of a sudden she's coming in and changing the script on you. It's not because she don't like you. She's either testing you or she's trying to let you know the CBS needs this out of you for you to make it on the show.
Right. Yeah.
Even though they know you're not going to be that person.
SEG which is Survivor. They were trying to groom me. They wanted me on the show. So they were like, Russell, you need to do this. You need to do this, because I'm about to go have a meeting with all CBS executives. They don't want me to blow it because they want me on so bad. So, and then that makes you even more nervous. You can do it, Russell. You can do it. You just be nicer. Talk about your family a little bit. I'm not playing Survivor to talk about my family. It wasn't my ultimate goal. My goal was to win for my family, but not the way I was going to win.
And they knew how you were going to play, but they knew that if you were too aggressive, CBS wouldn't have signed off on you.
Yeah.
So that's the two dynamics going on in
I said, Lynn, let me tell you something. I am going to change this game forever. And she's like, you know how many people tell me that, Russell? Everybody tells me that. Just do it. I'm tired of, she was kind of upset. I'm tired of people telling me they can do something. What makes me more mad than anything, this was me and Lynn's private conversation ahead of casting. She's like, what makes me more mad than anything is when someone tells me they're going to do something, they go out there and they just shut down completely.
That's what she has to battle all the time.
Yes.
That's why they have to play their games.
And they hate
their mental games. They have to, because look, that's a big deal to them, because everybody says that's why she doesn't like me, because I didn't come across on camera as I do in person, because I was thinking I need to be professional looking, like I'm in a Fortune 500. That's where I made my mistake. But that's another topic. That's not the casting part. It's getting long. Let's get to my top 5 pointers to put in your video. I'll give a little example about that. And then I'd like to talk about Melissa's charity that she joined an event for. And then we can all sign off and wish her luck and your group. Hopefully someone in your audience can take some of this advice and get on the show.
And this is all I want is if you get on Survivor, I'm the first interview you do when you get off. That's all we want.
Also, props to you, because I absolutely think you played an amazing set of games, and you absolutely changed the show. You weren't there to make friends. You were there.
We don't need to talk about how great he was.
Great too.
Everybody knows.
You were great. You were
I
great.
appreciate that.
His hat's about to go off his head. All right. So, all right. This is, people want to pay me for this, so I'm gonna give it to your audience, since you've given us a platform to give Melissa some publicity for her platform, which is right now it's the Houses for Wounded Warriors. So, top 5 things. And people ask me, you got so many people get on. So there's 5 things. I break it down. And this will help your chances. What do I put on the video? What do I put on the video? These are the 5 things. Get your pen and paper, record it, whatever. So first of all, is you're going to have to do an intro. That's going to have to include who you are. It's bland, but you got to get it out there. I'm Boo Burness. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, whatever. Those quick, that's got to be a quick hitter, right? That's point 1. Get out who you are: name, age, parent, single, bartender, engineer, whatever it is. Point two is, what skills do you have that will win the game of Survivor? In other words, I'm athletic, I'm smart, I'm a puzzle solver. Whatever it is, I'm great with people. Whatever you think, what you all go out there. Yes, you want to challenge yourself, but you all have in the back of your head, at least I can win. If you Russell in your front of your head, I already won the game. Doesn't matter. Somebody at some level thinks they're going to win, or maybe I can win. What on earth makes you think you can win?
Right.
And you have to state those skills. All right. These are the skills that I can do to win the show. And then you want to state things about you that will get you kicked off. I can't stand stupidity. I won't be able to hold my mouth if I'm starving, and I know I'm going to starve out there. So I need to be careful with that. I suck at challenges. You have to state what you suck at. I'm scared to death of heights. Whatever it is,
Spiders. It's okay.
Whatever you suck or you're scared at, you need to say that. Okay. With those two things, your skills, and then the fourth one is, how would you use your number two, my skills, to win the show, i.e. your strategy. So I'm going to use my strategy. I'm going to use my skills to do this, and this to win the show. And I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to be conscious of these things and try to hold, if something bad about you is, I get grumpy and I will curse somebody out if I'm pissed off, quick. I'm going to have to watch that. I'm going to have to watch myself. So you want to show how you're going to utilize your skills to win and mute down the things about you that would get you kicked off, and put that into a strategy. That's your fourth thing, your strategy. And then the fifth thing is, what would you do with the money? It could be boring, but that has to be you. If you're don't know what you're going to do with the money, you're going to have fun with it.
Yeah, you can have fun with it.
So good.
You can do that. You don't have to give it to charity to be.
Right.
That's who you want. I was putting it all on black. All of it.
Yeah. One of my friends said he was going to buy his girlfriend's a boob job. You know? But if you are going to give it to charity, give it to charity. But talk about it. It has to show something. It can't be long, right? This is a 2 to 3 minute video, and you have to have a bunch of one hitters. In a second, I'll describe how to express those points a little bit. But if you're going to give it to charity, you better be passionate about that charity, and that passion better bleed through to the camera.
Don't say that, because I think that's the hardest thing to say, though.
It is, but if that's someone's life passion, that's what needs to be said.
Yeah, right.
But it's just you gotta show your passion, and that is a harder thing to do. That's a small point, but it needs to be done, because they will ask you, what will you do for $1 million? In other words, Russell will stab his mom in the back for $1 million.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So
I do for $1 million. Like, how far will you go?
Me?
Exactly. They want to know that.
Yeah.
So to finish off with the video information, you need to give examples of each thing. Like, if you're Melissa, you said you were quick. We need to get a perfect example. I was quick. Well, let me tell you, I'm so quick. I caught a rabbit with my bare hands when I was little. My dad said, go kick rocks or go find a rabbit. I went outside and I saw a rabbit. And when I caught that rabbit. You gave an example of you being quick. They need to know examples. If you suck at something, tell about it. If you called somebody out, if you were scared of heights and you had to, you peed on yourself when you went on a high dive into school, you got to tell that story of how you. Okay, Russell. They said, Russell, how are you going to change the game? Oh, really? You're going to change the game? How are you going to change? Because every time they're going to say, really? How are you going to change the game? Well, in this video, you don't have a chance to answer their questions. They're going to say, they didn't tell us nothing. They just said they're great. They didn't say how they were great. That's boring. Bye. Next tape. Yeah. So you need an example.
Tape after tape after tape.
You need an example of how you've done it. And you need, like, you don't have to be clipped together, right? But it can be. But you need something to drop their jaw in awe from the beginning. And every 20 to 30 seconds, you have to have a new thing you're talking about and make them go, because remember, they're looking at it, they see monotony, they turn it off. They're not going to finish watching three-minute videos if they're bored in the first 30 seconds. They're going to move on. So immediately within that first 30 seconds, something has to be like, what the hell are they doing? What did they say? Wait a minute. So yours is good for you. Personally, you have your story of surviving the shootings, right? So you need to accentuate that within the first 30 seconds in your interview, in your introduction, and make them go, whoa. And then that might be sad, right? And then all of a sudden, it's telling a story about how you caught a freaking rabbit with your hands. And like, what? No way she did. And then the next thing, it's like a comedian, a really good comedian. They tell a great joke and you're trying to remember that joke. And then 20 seconds later, they hit another punchline and you're like, oh my God, it's so funny. And then you're like, wait, what was the other joke? And then the next joke comes in and boom, that's how that video has to be made. And they will definitely call you in. They will call you at least to talk to you because they couldn't get away from the video. They could not put the video down. So you have to have something spectacular to say every 30 seconds.
Do you think they need to do the video in the same setting, or do you think it's fine to do clips in different things that they're doing?
It just depends. So like Tyson had a good video, but it was just straight through, right? It was just him at a store, but his personality was so out there. It was easy for him to show who he was with just a few things that came across him at that point.
Right.
But people like Melissa, who aren't just crazy and just out there, she's fun and she would do great as a personality on the show. But it's hard to go through the video of 20,000 people. It's hard. So if you're not that person, then I highly recommend clipping your 1, 2, 3. You gotta come up with something, and everybody has a way to edit stuff now. If you can go straight through, and Melissa can talk. I've seen some of her videos. She can talk straight through. That's fine, but it's harder, and you have tools where you don't need to anymore.
You think they watch that though? You think they watch, or it doesn't really matter with the editing?
No, they like somebody that can tell a story, but you can get that through clips, right? If you can tell a 20-second, a 30-second story and it's fucking hilarious, that's great. And then you clip to the next one, as long as they keep the interest, right? It's yes, they want somebody who can just sit there and tell a story without having to shut up and restart and do this, right? But it doesn't matter. Like Willie did a bunch of clips. They loved him because each clip was amazing, right?
Right.
And then he even showed the bloopers at the end, and they were like dying laughing.
Yeah.
Right. Because that showed. So it doesn't matter. Either way, if you're that strong and your video comes off like Tyson did, and it's just easy and natural, then great. If you're not, you need to do the clip. It's not going to hurt you at all. What will hurt you is if you sit there and don't make them go, what? Oh my God, this is funny. And they might, you want them to be like that. Like you want them to be like the audience and a comedian that goes with the joke punchline and you try to remember it, and then the next punchline comes and you start laughing at that and you already forgot the next one because you can't wait for the next thing. So do those 5 points in your videos and give examples, and you gotta find some humor or some sadness. You have to jerk emotion. If you're not going to jerk any type of emotion out of them, it's not going to work. It can be all sad. I don't recommend all sad. I do recommend something. If it fits you, Melissa, it's personal to you. You need to show that heart, that sadness, and then show the fun because that's who you are, and show the passion of why you want to do something. You need to have this come across on video, and even if it's all together or you have 2 clips. And you get to say everything you say. It's not a clip that shows it. It's your story. So your story can be 3 minutes long, but you have punchlines in that story because you keep talking about the next step.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start my new video. I'll be riding in on the pig.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing right there.
She got
Maybe
a big fat ass pig.
old prom dress, old wedding dress, and just ride in on the pig as it's like.
Ride in
Yeah.
a pit on your wedding dress.
That would
Get their attention for sure.
that's gonna make their attention. So they're gonna watch it for the next 30 seconds, right?
That's a good
And then
idea.
if you're boring for that next 30 seconds, well, then you lost them. But that's a great something intro because they're gonna look, and then you start telling your story.
Or you could ride in on the pig in your bikini,
I could do that.
like into the mud.
Yeah.
Then they'd be like, "Oh, she don't mind getting dirty either."
Right. Good. That's a
Right.
great suggestion.
Yeah.
Great suggestion. So
you should sit there. You can sit there and talk with your friends, and y'all can come up with stuff just like we just did.
Yep.
Within seconds, just watch. Talking about her video. You can do that too. You may think, "Oh no, how am I going to think of stuff like that?" You can do it.
Yeah.
Just sit there and think about it.
And I would recommend getting a drunk with your friends and doing that. So we talked about the intro. We could have easily been talking about, tell us some of your, you're good at this, you're good at that, you're good at that. And then you start talking about it. And then something's going to come up in your head. It's like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. And then start writing those ideas down. And then the hard part comes in editing down to 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done. You gotta, I can't really help you with that. You got to figure out what you would keep. I mean, I'd have to be in everybody's video, but as just far as telling you, I can't tell you which one to pick, but just so you know, every 30 seconds or so, they got to be going, oh my gosh, this is good.
Yeah.
And then you got to move to the next thing. Oh my God, this is good. You want them to watch 3 minutes and go, man, that was 3 minutes. Shit, it's already over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my pointers for you and the audience. Let's tell everybody what you've entered and what it's for, and what they can do.
Okay. Currently, I'm in the running for a worldwide contest, Miss Health and Fitness 2020. I have been doing this for about a month and a half, and coming up on Thursday are the semifinals. To advance to the semifinals, I have to be in first place. Voting.
Okay.
And you're in second right now, correct?
Second right now.
We'll put that. We'll put that in the description below, to where they can click on it and they can go vote.
Yes.
Right. So this is for what reason?
Yes. So you can do a free daily vote, but the main reason I'm doing this is the proceeds for the warrior vote, which is a separate option. You'll see free daily vote or warrior vote. The proceeds go to Homes for Wounded Warriors. So our veterans that come home to their homes, they can't live comfortably in their homes. They have to have wheelchair accessible homes, or homes that accommodate their needs based on something that happened. They might have to have an elevator or showers remodified or doorway.
Right.
So they get a home built for them.
So you entered a contest that can help bring attention for the Wounded Warrior homes. And I know Russell and I kind of run along the same principles. We love the kids and we love the Wounded Warrior. We love the military and the Wounded Warriors. Those are two things that I'm sure we would always like to be involved and help with. So we appreciate Russell coming here and doing this. I'll explain. I don't think they heard it, but I think it's a big point. There are two ways when you click. There's only 3 clicks. It's real easy.
Yep.
You click the link on the page, and then it's going to ask you to click another button to say, I'm real. I'm a real person, not a robot. And then you just click vote. And that's it. Or you can do that option, which is a free option. It's every 24 hours. So you have until when does it end? Thursday?
Thursday's when, if I'm not in first, I don't advance anymore because
right. So we can click tonight and tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Everybody listening can click tonight and tomorrow night for the free vote. And if you want to add dollars to the Wounded Warrior Project, you have an option to donate $1, $10, whatever you want. It's whatever you can afford. Not everybody can donate dollars or more dollars than others, but what you can do is donate some time and effort to go click 3 buttons today and tomorrow, and then you can actually feel good about doing that. I mean, that you doing that is a big thing to promote awareness for this, even though you can't donate the dollars. So we hope that you go out there and you at least donate, and if you can, go ahead and donate for the Wounded Warrior fund on the Warrior Vote.
And you get it's a charity, and I'm telling you, win or lose, just bringing awareness to this charity through social media, through doing this, that's a win in my book either way. But I appreciate all the votes, free votes, warrior votes. It's all appreciated.
Yeah.
Right. I'll put all that in the link in the description below. And so that's it. That's all we got for you guys.
Can we go ahead and put her, I don't know if y'all, can we put her, if I send you, I'll share it to your page, also your Facebook page?
What? Oh, yeah.
The link.
I'll do that on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Just share it and I'll redo it.
And then you could take that link off of your page and put it on the video?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, you can't text me the link?
I guess. Can I?
Can I put it in the chat right now?
Yeah.
I guess.
We can still do it later. Put it in, not right now. And then what you do is text me the link, and then I'll text it to Russell.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll put it in the description.
Perfect.
So everybody can vote for it. We can help the Wounded Warriors.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody for watching. Hopefully this helped you out also in trying to get on Survivor. If you want more in depth, you have to be a patron, and we will help you out. Check out the tiers. We could help you out in your video specifically. But this is all we got for you now. We hope we helped you. And that's it. Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive.